Okay, what if the most valuable thing you owned wasn't in your bank account, but in your heart? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty wild economic model that's built not on money, but on connections, on memories, and really, on the very essence of who you are. So let's just start with this question right here. Just imagine a financial system where your birthday had real, actual market value, just because it's special to you. That is the core idea we are unpacking today.
The system we're digging into, it proposes a complete rethink of what an economy can even be. It's called 4G3W. And in this market, get this, your identity itself becomes the most fundamental asset.
So just think about the difference for a second. Traditional finance is cold, it's impersonal. Numbers are just digits on a screen, right? But in this new system, value is subjective. It's emotional. Here, numbers aren't just digits. They actually represent who we are.
So, you're probably wondering, how can a number be an identity? Well, to wrap our heads around that, we need to look at the one fundamental asset that's at the heart of this entire system.
So this core asset is called an undated web quantum, or just OW for short. You can kind of think of it like a digital title deed for a number. But here's the really crucial part. Its value has absolutely nothing to do with stock prices. It comes purely from the emotional connection a person has to that specific number. I know, it sounds a little abstract. So let's bring it down to earth. Let's take something as simple as a date and see how it can have some pretty powerful market value. Take a number like 1968. For most of us, it's just a year. But for someone who was born in 1968, or maybe they got married that year or had some other life-changing event, well, that number holds this huge personal significance. It's literally part of their story. And that, right there, is the secret sauce. The system is designed so that personal affection, that feeling, directly dictates the price. It creates a market that's actually driven by human emotion, not by cold, hard speculation.
In this system, a person is called a data valuer. So a data valuer might really want an undated web quantum that ends in, say, 2026, because that's the year their child is going to be born. That desire, that feeling, it's born from love and hope. And that's what gives that number its value.
Okay, but an emotional market, it seems like it would be super easy to manipulate, right? What happens when a predator smells blood in the water and comes in for pure profit? Well, that brings us to what's called the benevolent shark paradox. So, let's meet our villain, the classic market manipulator, what the source material calls a shark. This is a huge investor who sees an opportunity and decides they're going to dominate the market to make a fast, selfish buck, with zero emotional attachment at all.
Okay, so here's the shark's play. First, they buy up a ton of these assets, like a massive number. All that money flows straight into the system's central reserve, which is called the sovereign anchor. Then the shark sells everything all at once in what's called a cash call. Now, in any normal market, this would be a total disaster, a catastrophic crash. But here's the crazy part. The system is designed to not even flinch. The shark's sudden exit doesn't cause a collapse. It just frees up all those assets, creating thousands of brand new opportunities for everyday people. And this is where we see the system's most radical, most brilliant feature, how it takes a purely selfish act and somehow transforms it into a force for good. See, the system is designed to capture the value from that massive transaction. And that captured value becomes the fuel for something called the social elevator. It's a mechanism that automatically gives the most disadvantaged participants the very first shot at all those newly available opportunities. Just think about that for a second. This whole system is designed to be so strong, so robust, that even raw, unfiltered greed gets harnessed for the common good. The shark, who is trying to exploit the market for their own gain, unintentionally ends up making it stronger and more accessible for everybody else. It's wild.
So look, while this is all just a concept, it does leave us with a pretty powerful question. We spend so much time and energy trying to regulate greed out of our systems. But what if, instead, we could design systems that actually used it for the common good? What would a world like that even look like? Thanks for tuning into this explainer.